Audre Lorde once said there is no such thing as single-issue struggle, because we do not live single-issue lives. This quote speaks to Kimberly Crenshaw's concept of intersectionality, or the idea that who we are cannot be reduced to separate categories of identity like gender, race, sexuality, and class. Rather, our lives form at the intersection or crossroads of multiple identities. We can use the theory of intersectionality to explore the ways in which beliefs about gender are tied to other beliefs about social difference, and examine how these systems influence and reinforce one another. In order to understand the relationship between gender and other social systems, we have to begin with an understanding of where norms come from and how they are reproduced. Gender norms are rooted in essentialist beliefs about human bodies. Male and female bodies are anatomically similar, but biological understandings frame men and women as fundamentally different and reaffirm gendered beliefs as natural and inevitable. Similar essentialist beliefs are found across all categories of social difference. For example, biological determinism was also used in the construction of racial difference and the justification for institutions of slavery in American society. Cultural beliefs about the inferiority of Black people and the superiority of the white race gave rise to scientific understandings of African Americans as physiologically and intellectually more similar to apes than white Europeans. While our dominant culture now largely dismisses these understandings of race, the same beliefs continue to emerge in modern forms of racial oppression. Given this understanding of norms, intersectional analysis can be used to show how race and sexuality shape our beliefs about masculinity and femininity, and how these systems reinforce gender. School, mainstream media, and families represent three cultural sites or institutions where gendered beliefs are learned and reproduced. We can look at how this process of doing gender also involves the doing of race and sexuality, and how this creates meaningful difference in the way individuals experience gender. According to Martin, hidden school curriculums are covert lessons that are usually taught as a means of social control. In preschool, hidden curriculums control the way children move and take up space with their bodies. Children who are more or less similar become boys and girls whose bodies act and behave in very different ways. Hidden curricula also function to police and suppress Black youth and brand Black masculinity as criminal in nature. This has severe implications for how Black children see themselves and how they are treated both in and outside of the classroom. Gender is also constructed through mainstream media representations of violence. Such representations play different roles for men and women depending on their race. Violence is central to the construction of masculine identities. In white men, the ability to perform masculinity through doing or enduring violence is idealized in mainstream media. Yet for Black men, it comes at the consequence of being racially stereotyped and punished more severely than any other group of men. Representations of sexual violence also reinforce gendered beliefs and heteronormativity. In media discourse about sexual assault, men are framed as the subjects who desire sex and who assault, and women are framed as those who are assaulted. Finally, race shapes gendered family dynamics and the way Black and white women assume the role of motherhood. The ideology of intensive mothering is situated within white middle-class experiences. White women face and live up to the ideology of intensive mothering, or the expectation that their responsibility to their homes and families supersedes all other areas of life. Black women, on the other hand, experience stereotypes of the super strong Black mom. Black women are expected to be solely responsible for raising and caring for their children on their own, but they must also be capable of shielding their children from institutional racism and poverty. Intersectional approaches to concepts of gender provide a better understanding of history, culture, and human experience, and this theory is useful in highlighting how systems of social difference influence and reinforce one another.